So how do you make a lot of money trading stocks? Well, first thing I want to tell you is you got to learn support and resistance. You got to learn the patterns. You got to learn the technicals. There's no easier way. It's not sexy, right? I wish there was some sexy way to just randomly gunsling and throw money into a stock and just, oh, it's just going to magically go up. But the reality is you got to learn the patterns, right? Learning the patterns helps you to then understand how the market works, how those patterns work, support and resistance levels where you know where to buy and where to sell. And then once you have that skill set mastered, you then have the ability to choose a trading style such as day trading, swing trading, doing options, trading futures, and you put that strategy combined with learning the technicals, and then you have a skill set. And once you have that skill set, it helps you to learn how to buy and sell stocks. So if you're still with me now, I didn't scare you away, let me show you a few ways, some couple strategies to look at and kind of try to simplify it down for you. Again, there's so many different patterns, but I want to strictly kind of zone in on bull flags and trends, right? So finding a trend, riding an uptrend or a downtrend. So uptrend if you're going long, downtrend if you're going short, finding those bull flag patterns. So stocks that kind of go up have those small little pullbacks, and then either ride that trend up on a bull flag or ride that trend down on a bear flag. So there are so many different ways, again, so many strategies, but like I said, I'll show you a few examples here on what to look for and just a strategy you can kind of take and then apply it to whatever time frame that you want to apply it to, depending on what type of trader you are. So you can see here's a daily chart here. I just have Apple pulled up. And what I want to bring your attention to is, see this blue line here? That's the 9 EMA. That's just a short-term trend line. So you see how like price is moving up on that trend line, and then you can see how it's moving down on that trend line, right? So this is bullish and then bearish. So depending on what type of trader you are, if you want to do, just buying stocks, right? So just pretend that this is Apple. You can apply this strategy to any stock, right? Now the penny stocks or the smaller cap stocks that you see, you won't see as many of these trend lines. You'll see mostly trends on the way down, but you'll see like, this is where I'm looking at a daily chart of Apple. You could apply this to a 5-minute chart, to a 1-minute chart. So if you're going to day trade or trade penny stocks, you can use the same strategy when doing penny stocks, right? So just to, put whatever symbol you want here, change whatever time frame you want, whatever trader you are, but just kind of this typical strategy here of just finding that trend line when stocks are moving above this trend line, for bullish strategies, and then below this line for bearish, right? Personally, I try to avoid stuff like this when it's kind of trading sideways in a range, like over in here where it's a bit choppy. I like clearly defined trends on the way up or clearly defined on the way down. So just showing you those bull flags, a bull flag, just kind of picture this right here. A flagpole, right? Price moving up, and then the flag pulling back, right? So you have that move up, then you have this consolidation back. I like smaller candlesticks off that 9 EMA personally, and I trade those breakouts, and then you can just kind of ride that trend, right? Nice kind of trend line. You can use that 9 EMA as a guide. So you'll see kind of a bull flag here. There's kind of one right over in here. Now again, the more that they start to be clearly defined, after a while they start to get bigger and a little bit messier. So you see kind of 1, 2, 3 really nice ones, and then they start getting bigger and choppier because more people see them, right? So you can see there's kind of one right here. It's a little bit overextended off that 9 EMA, and then kind of another one right over in here. So what I like to draw your attention to is, getting these, when price breaks out of that bull flag right here, you can take your entry, right? This candle right over in here, this candle right over in here. And then it starts to get a little bit riskier out over here, but the same kind of standard applies. As it breaks out, you can take an entry, and then you can just use a candlestick close below these areas, below this candlestick as your stop, right? So this is a really great strategy because bull flags very, very reliable pattern overall, depending on what the context overall is on the patterns. You always want to look left and see what's happening and look at those other support and resistance levels. But being aware of, you don't just randomly trade bull flags. Like I said, you got to look over and see what's happening over in the past, right? So mark out these levels right over in here, kind of right down in here. And let's see if I can just zoom out. Some up over in here. So kind of give you an example, as it goes out to the future, you'll see as I put this area over in here, see how it broke out? It broke out of a resistance level and then it ran. And then what did it do? It consolidated right below a previous resistance level, started to move up, and then what did it do here? It broke out again, came back down and retested it, right? So it's being able to understand, and this is the stuff that we teach in the Bullish Bears in our trading community. We teach support, resistance, patterns, all of this stuff, because this is what helps you to make educated trading decisions, right? So if you want to make a lot of money trading, you got to learn this stuff, and you got to learn discipline and risk management. So it's not just, oh, just buy and like, oh, you get rich. Learn the skill set. This is a skill set that you can have for life when trading. But the key is you have to put the time in and treat trading like you would an education. So let me show you how this strategy applies now, just going into a shorter term time frame. Here's a 5-minute chart, right? So this is 5-minute chart of Apple. So again, if you're trading shares, or if you don't have that type of capital, if you're trading options on it, so day trading options or trading options, yeah, if you're doing intraday, short term, you'd be day trading them, or pretend this is a penny stock as well. It doesn't matter what the symbol is. It's still learning these patterns and still kind of finding that trend, right? And you'll see something like this right here with Apple. Right here was a high a day. This black area is when the market is open. The gray area is pre-market and aftermarket. So pre-market, aftermarket. And you'll see when you learn these patterns, here was kind of a cup pattern with a handle. And that handle, many times, it ends up being essentially a bull flag, right? So that pullback right over in here. So you see how price was kind of starting to move up here. You have that clearly kind of defined pattern, that flag pull up, pulling back with that flag consolidation, small little candlestick, and you can get in on a breakout over in here, use a candlestick close below here as your stop, and then decide when you're going to take your profits, right? But those small little candlesticks, these little ones that are right off that 9 EMA, you know, you can trade them on breakouts. So, you know, as it breaks and you see a reversal candle, you can take your profit, get out, and then look for reentry. Or you can kind of ride the trend, depending on what your risk tolerance is on what you're looking to make on a trade. But find those bull flags, those small little pullbacks, right? Learn the patterns. Like I said, I wish it was sexier. I wish it was just easier, but it's all about learning the technicals. And then when you learn these patterns, then you can find your entries and exits. So that's why it's important to not just listen to talking heads and on TV and social media that are like, oh, buy this stock, buy this sector. Well, where would you buy it? Right? Those people on TV, do they ever show you the areas and where to buy and sell, or they just talk to you and say, oh, this is a buy, this is a sell, this is going to go up, it's going to go down? Where? Why? What are those patterns? That's the stuff that you want to learn, and that's going to be what helps you to make a lot of money trading. But again, to make a lot of money trading, it's all up to you, your risk management, your risk tolerance. So again, that's the stuff you need to learn. And that's the stuff that we'll teach you, is we'll teach you the skills. We're not going to tell you what to buy or sell. We're going to teach you the skills on how to buy and sell, how to learn this stuff so that you can make educated trading decisions for yourself.